If I didn't know better, I would literally believe that there is almost a conspiracy to destroy America. So said Representative Jeff Van Drew of New Jersey. Hello, welcome. Welcome to American Reversion. I'm Steve Smith. Hope you all are having a good day. I'm having a good day. It's kind of a rainy one out there. Hoping to be able to get out in the garden in the next couple of days and start working, but we will see. I bet some of you, excuse me, I'll take a sip of this. So I'm not just up here waving this around for the next 5 minutes. By the way, welcome. Welcome to everyone. Welcome to all the new subscribers. We keep seeing new people join us, both on YouTube and on Patreon. It's great to have you all. We are literally destroying ourselves as a nation. Isn't that the truth? How many of you have said this to yourself? I know I have. I've said it with friends. You know, I said they've got to be nobody. If you were going to destroy a nation, what would you do differently than what's being done? Right? Now, I'm not laying this at the feet of the Democrats. And I know that a lot of people will say, well, yes, they're the ones that are doing the worst. They're the ones that are, whatever. Well, I know that a lot of you out there also will join me in recognizing the fact that whoever is doing it could have no better enablers than most of the people on the other side of the aisle. Just to make this real balanced, right? Nobody has an exclusive on the idiocy or the malevolence, for that matter, bred out of self-interest, and they're all in it together. So I'm going to repeat. I'm going to read just a little bit of this. This is from CNS News. The right news right now. It says, I guess, I don't know, maybe it is the right news right now. Anyway, it's the news we're going to read right now. So it starts off here that, and it says, we are literally destroying ourselves as a nation. We've said that. Republican Representative Jeff Van Drew of New Jersey told Fox Business on Thursday morning. If I didn't know better, he continues, I know this is going to sound strange, but if I didn't know better, I would literally believe that there is almost a conspiracy to hurt and destroy America. Does that sound strange to you? It doesn't sound strange to me. When we think about the things that are going on in our country, and we think about how different they are than the way things used to be. Now, I don't know how old many of you are, most of you are. I know that a lot of you are somewhere around my age or just a little bit younger, and it makes me feel so young when I know that there's some of you older than I am. But those of us who grew up in the Beaver Cleaver years of the 50s and the 60s, and even through those times of the 70s that the older generation, meaning our parents, thought was so horrible, and we can kind of look back and see the relative naivete of those days, to when people still tended to, well, they were just starting to not believe everything that was shoveled into their willing little minds and ears, right? They were just being birthed, as it were. They were being born into the realities of the world, of how things really work. People were escaping their cocoons as the ability of the news and the world and technology leapfrogged through the 70s and the 80s and the 90s, so that mass communications allowed, just like on this, to introduce. I won't say the truth, because a lot of untruths are spread also, but it allowed more information to be shared, which I think is always a good thing if you have a listenership, a viewership, a consumership of the information that is at least moderately informed and educated so that they're able to tell the truth from the BS. Simply, does it pass the smell test? Does it make sense? Does it line up with what everything that we know to be true is there? Or if it doesn't, it makes us question, well, the things that we thought were true, are they really true? Anyway, it takes a discerning mind. It takes an educated population, like our founders said. Sadly, our population has probably become more ignorant, less educated, more educated in some things, technologically just surpassing people of my age, but with not near the understanding of how things are supposed to be, nor the foundation of the principles and the values that our country was based on. And I know, and not just our country, but our families. And it comes from a Judeo-Christian outlook on the world. I'm going to continue this now, but all that was simply to say, and I would love to hear your opinions on this, that things have, I won't say progressed, I would say regressed from the way things once were. And so those of us who are old enough to have seen the change, we ask ourselves, like Representative Drew is here, what in the world's going on? If anybody was trying to destroy this country, they'd do pretty much what we're seeing. You remember that If I Were the Devil program by, what was his name? Hey, honey, you there?
Yeah.
What was his name that did If I Were the Devil?
Oh,
Listening for my producer in there.
oh gosh. If I were the devil.
That's right. The audience is awaiting for you to clue me in. I'm talking to you like I'd be talking to Mr. Snerdley. Miss Snerdley, who was it that did? And right now, I know that all of you out there are yelling. You're yelling the answer right now, except I can't hear you through the phone. So I'm waiting. Oh, I think I've got it. You check me on this. Paul Harvey?
Yeah, Paul Harvey.
Okay, my producer, Miss Snerdley, says it was Paul Harvey, so it was If I Were the Devil. And of course, what he said, and maybe I'll put this up over on the Patreon channel. You can find it for yourself on YouTube. You don't have to go over there, but these are the kinds of things that I put up over on Patreon for your enjoyment and edification. And essentially what it was a program that he did about if I were the devil, I would do everything exactly as is being done in the world. So Van Drew here, he says he's kind of seeing the same thing. He says, Van Drew, who sits on the House Homeland Security Committee, listed a number of issues that concern him. The open border, the potential for Russian cyber attacks, the lying corporate media, soft on crime politicians, and inflation. That's right. And now he says they're trying to buy the election. He warned with their pleas to pass a bill that would send monthly stimulus checks to lower earning Americans for the rest of the year in any month where the national gas price average exceeds $4 a gallon. Okay, that's just more silliness. You know, I mean, people have been buying votes forever. I came from Kansas City, where buying votes, you know, was how you decided elections, right? Just like every other major city, it's how some people were put in the White House. It's how Truman was put in the White House. It's how Kennedy was put in the White House. Let me go down and see here. They're trying to... Okay, what I'm going to steer away from here, and I'll tell you why. I'm not going to... Just a second here. Our governor, I'm going to put, I'll tell you what I'm going to stay away. I'm going to stay away from everywhere he says Democrats. And it's not that I'm afraid of attacking that. It's because it is misdirecting all of our attention on one party with the assumption that they are the only ones who are doing it. Okay? All right. And that's a dangerous assumption to to shoulder, because it's not just them. It's the Republicans as well. And I want to be an equal opportunity attacker here. So he says, our governor is releasing prisoners, is releasing violent offenders on a regular basis, hundreds and hundreds, thousands actually, and people know it. Our jails are being emptied out, and it's like a revolving door. We put them in jail, we let them right out. So when have you had an increase in crime? I think that was a typo. When have you the inflation rate? I'm going to switch their words around. I don't know if this is a typo or what. So when you have an increase in crime, when you have the inflation rate, when you have the problems that we have with, goods and services, and we have the problems that we have with the border because people still know what's going on even though they try to hide it, as well as energy problems where we were number one, somebody asked me the other day, this is him continuing, the other day at a meeting, they said, can we ever be energy independent? We were energy independent, and we can be energy independent again. So the whole question here, and I want to stay away from the bashing of a particular party. And again, it's not because I don't have my opinions or I'm afraid of that. I'm not. But it tends to focus us only on one side of the problem, and there are two sides to this problem. Let me see if there's anything else. Okay, that's enough. We can make a list of all of our problems in our country. We know that the economy is just going into the toilet. There are a number of reasons for that. We know that they've been devaluing our currency ever since the quantitative easing of years ago. When you pump phony money into an economy, it devalues the money that's out there. And so people who think that things are going well because they can see a stock market rising don't realize that all of this is being put on the debt of their children and grandchildren, and eventually, as Margaret Thatcher said, the only problem with socialism is eventually you run out of other people's money. Well, the money that we're spending is other people's. It's our children's. It's our grandchildren, because none of us of our age are ever going to live long enough to pay back this debt. And they don't have any idea that they're going to. They don't have any intent that they're going to pay back this debt, because there's no way to. We're what, $30 trillion in debt, for national debt right now, and every year we spend twice as much as we take in. That's not you. Nobody who does that has any intent to pay off the debt. There's only one way out of it, and that is to start over, to just say, whoops. And how do they do that? Well, we've talked about that before with a war. A war is usually the best way to explain away a collapsing economy. Okay? It's a way that a lot of people make a lot of money, but it's a way that it's easy to take people's minds off a collapsing economy by saying it's the war. We're already seeing that now. We're seeing that with the excuses made for high gas prices, right? And they say, well, the gas prices are over $4 a gallon here. Now, here in my area, they're $3.50, $3.60, something like that. And I see, by the way, Steve out in California, Corsair Trainers, he has a channel. If you don't watch him, you should. And he's posting lately pictures of some gas prices out there in California, and they're $6 and something, okay? So everybody's feeling the bite. And of course, if fuel goes up, the price of everything else goes up. We know that. But there's no way, when we have shut down our production, to address this situation. So if they're not going to address it, they have to excuse it. Does that make sense? If you don't fix something, you have to excuse why you didn't fix it. You have to say somebody else did it, or it's beyond our control, or whatever, right? It's just like a little kid. Johnny, did you break that vase? No, I didn't do it. Okay. The cat did it. Well, apparently the cat has broken our economy. And since we can't fix it and the cat can't fix it, we need to have a war. Well, back to Representative Drew, I want to repeat what he said. He said, if I didn't know better, I know this is going to sound strange, but if I didn't know better, I would literally believe that there is almost a conspiracy to hurt and destroy America. Here's my question. Here's my question to Representative Drew and to you all. And I know that he won't watch this, but I'd ask him if he were sitting here at the table with me. So I'm asking it of you. When he says, if I didn't know better, do you know better? I don't. I don't know better than that. If I didn't know better, I would literally believe that there is almost a conspiracy to hurt and destroy America. I don't know better, so I have to ask myself, where is that conspiracy coming from? And what can or should we do about it? With that in mind, I'm going to let you all go. As I've said in the past, America needs a reversion. Oh, and by the way, I should have said at the very beginning that this is brought to you by my fifth book, The Blessings of Freedom, by me, Stephen C. Smith. Available on Amazon, paperback, and Kindle. America needs a reversion or something. And it needs you to be a part of it. It needs you to share this with your friends. Try to educate them. We need more people paying attention to what's going on. More people caring. More people asking the questions. Why is this happening? And what, if anything, can we do about it? So that's my question to you. You all have a good day. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Share this with your friends. Give it a thumbs up. Help us grow the channel if you would. If you don't want to, that's your business, but I'm hoping that you will. And I'll see you later. Bye-bye.